16 and 2017, in winter season, we have snow. That's very strange in Vietnam at the moment because climate change and the forest fires. Although we have problems in that region, sludge and burn agriculture and soil erosion are uncontrolled. Sometimes like Peaceful Forest that we have visited. So forest fire here difficult to control because terrain very steepy slope and significant variation in the condition. And flooding, droughts also. And TFP, so non-timber forest products here, I want to focus on medicinal plants because the TFP are so generous. But I want to emphasize on medicinal plants are unsustainable collected for generating income. So the people all the way go to the forest and harvest MP for the income, for livelihoods improvement. So you can, whenever you visit somewhere, you can see that the medicinal plant you can sell every market and a lot. And development of ecotourism have significantly affected to the natural resources. So the people come and destroy, and later on I will talk about toxic program. And income of the local community in the area is significantly reducing. So in the main town it's increasing, but in the village, in the commune are significantly reducing. So for these four main issues, so I want to come back with come further with stakeholder analysis. So here I have defined myself around nearly 30 stakeholders. So based on this, I classify into different groups. The first one, beneficiaries and implementing agencies, interest group, a supporting group, and also funding agencies, and also community leaders, decision maker, and last one, the negatively affected group. And for this, I want to put is the main point here. So the most important stakeholder here is MP collector and releaser. And Vietnam National University of Forestry is the BB selected to be the implementing agencies of this project. So there are lots of interest groups from military to the department to the forest product traders. And the supporting group, so they are willing to support, I think they're willing to support for this group because we have policy, we have any accident for that. For the funding agency, we want to get the fund from JICA and WWF and also another organization. So come with the problem analysis. So from this, so I have defined that the income of the local communities in the mountainous area of Sapa retreats, Lao Cai province, from natural forest resources is significantly reducing. So I have defined three causes, three main primary causes. The first one is production and quality of medicinal plant have been decreased. And the second is no village except the Sapa town gets positive effects from the ecotourism. And the last one is financial support for the natural forest protection is limited. So with this, the effect to the livelihood condition of the community, and it will increase the illegal cutting and deforestation in the region. Okay, so come back with the primary causes. So if we go further, for this, for production and quality of MP in medicinal plant have been decreased. The first, because medicinal plant resources are unsustainably harvested. Because in lack of sustainably harvesting techniques, the first. And the second is the ecological environment for MP development is degraded. So, because natural forest have been degraded, and also technical measures for preserving and for the rehabilitating of MP are limited. And the last one is management and development technique are request due to the lack of the technical guidance for development of MP under the forest canopy. So to come to the second primary causes, no village except Sapa town, because attractive for ecological sites for the tourists are lacking on. So it means that the sightseeing is limited. So it's not really in the large scale, and sometimes not so special. and sometimes they didn't form. And because the investigation for establishing the model for ecotourism purposes is not limited. And the second point that the number of villagers participated in the ecotourism activity are limited due to they have limited skill and knowledge, and also the number of villagers they go to urban area or the city to find another part-time job now increasing because the income reducing. They want to move to another place or they go to cut the forest later on. So for the third primary causes, because here you know that the payment for ecosystem services it applies because it only applies in watershed area, but no village in this belong to it. So the payment for ecosystem services apply in this region, but not in some village in not in this some village in example in this study community. So with this and this and this, we see when the objective analysis to become accurate. So you see, if we want to deal with that issue or problem, so we can see, okay, we can come back forward, and this will be the activity that we have to carry out. Okay, first we have to sustainable harvesting techniques and apply that, and we have to rehabilitate the natural forest. We have to provide the technical measures for preserving and for restoring MP, and also we have to develop the technical guidance for that. So in this we do hope that the production and quality of MP are increased. So for the village to get more income from that, so we have to establish the model for ecotourism purposes. We can do like that, like the fish, massage, fit, spa. So from the beginning it's very easy, but no one has the idea like that. So if we form like that, so every tourist, I think most of the tourists will come to this region because very nice things. And number of villagers to go to urban area to find another job remain the same. Such keeps remain the same in order to put it degree or degree. So we have to improve, carry out the activity to improve the knowledge of the villagers. So we do hope that the more villages in Sabah retreat will get positive effect from the ecotourism. And for payment for ecosystem services, now we only apply for the watershed areas. So I do hope that next year and next for the coming time, so another policy and another ecosystem services will be faced by the user. So from this, we think and we hope that the income of local community will be increased. And when the main objective, we can show that. So we hope that at the end, the livelihoods condition of the local community is increasing, and the illegal cutting and deforestation will be decreased. So that it for the project selection. So I put the first one as a technical approach, and this can be considered as a social and economic approach. So with these two approaches, so I will focus on this. Because when I apply such like create criteria for the project selection, actually is it very subjective thinking. It comes from only my mind, no agreement, and only my mind. I refuse that. Okay, it could be changed, but actually, according to the comment from Chinese, I also put the C6 input because when we create the PDM, I found that the input is so important. So I put like that. So with the technical approach, so the total score is 35, and socio-ecological approach is 25. So I think the approach number one will be selected for further study. For the PDM, So the title of the project will be the Sustainable Conservation and Development of Medicinal Plant in Sapa Retreat, Lào Cai Province of Vietnam. Prior of the action plan 1 year, the target group will be, I want to select only 4 provinces, Lao Cai, Tavan, Sapa, and Tafi. And another target group is Hoa Liên National Park and also medicinal plants corridors. And the target areas is buffer zone of the national park, Sapa Retreat in the Lao Cai province, and it funded 350,000 million US dollar. So why it's really high within 1 year, I will explain you later when we talk about the activity. For overall, so the income of the local communities from the forest resources in Sapa Retreat, Lao Cai province improved. So OVIs, I want to put here the number of the poor households in the commune for selected commune is decreased by 2% by the end of 2020. So 2020 means the project will be ended. It's not really high, but within 1 year we can evaluate that. That is so the main objective with medicinal plant are sustainable, conserve and develop. So, for the OVIs, so by December 2020, harvesting quantity of medicinal plant is increased by 10%, and 5 hectares of forest are applied rehabilitation techniques, and 4 hectares part of 2 restoration models of medicinal plant are established in the study area. So 10%, 5 hectares and 4 hectares of restoration model will be applied in the study area. For the output, so first, the medicinal plant resources are sustainable harvested. As the indicator for that, by December 2020, 40% of medicinal plants are sustainable managed. And the second output, ecological environment for MP development is gradually restored. And the OVI, the indicator for that is by December of 2020, 5 hectares of natural forest in the buffer zone of Hoa Liên National Park are applied rehabilitation technique. And for our push number 3, the management and development techniques for medicinal plant are provided. So we do hope that by December 2020, so 4 hectare restoration model of medicinal plant under forest canopy are established. So why 2 models? Because we want to apply to carry out it under the natural forest and also under the canopy of plantation. For the activity, for the first activity, for the first output, I have designed 5 main activities. The first one, we have to carry out the activity to identify the current status of medicinal plant resources in the study area. It means that in the natural forest. And in the second, it identifies the harvesting and using of medicinal plant. And number 3 is the raising awareness of the local community on the medicinal plants. And also number 4, create harvesting technique or guidance for some main or some important medicinal plants. And we have to carry out the training on the sustainable harvesting technique. So we do hope that with these activities, so the medicinal plants are sustainable harvested. For the output number 2, the ecological environment for the medicinal plant development are gradually restored or rehabilitated. So the first activity will identify the ecological characteristics of valuable medicinal plant in the region. And the second is identify suitable conditions for growth and development of this selected medicinal plant. And number 3, to carry out the forest restoration and rehabilitation activities in order to meet the ecological requirement of this selected medicinal plant. Output number 3. So first activity will be to carry out the activity to enhance the law enforcement activity, and the second is to create the harvesting regulations for the medicinal plant for each commune or the village. Number 3 is conducted to study tour to areas, maybe to Thailand, maybe to Philippines, maybe to Japan if you have enough money, with the success model for conservation and development of medicinal plant, maybe to China. And number 4, identify the development planning and techniques for the medicinal plant in the forest garden and in the plantation forest. And the last one will be to carry out the activity to establish 4 hectares of pilot model for medicinal plant development in study areas. So it means that when we create a lot of the rehabilitation models and also the medicinal plant protection, so the money will be paid for that and also for study tour. Important assumption. So the first one is local communities are remain collections of medicinal plant for their income improvement. And the second assumption is that local authorities and the communities follow the approach after completion of the project. They have to come up with approach and go further. So precondition to be met before starting the action plan. The project must have the support from Hoàng Liên National Park and other financial resources. So really important because the buffer zone belongs to Hoàng Liên National Park. If they did not agree, so we cannot carry out. And the money is the most important one, so that we want to carry out with us. For the planned operations, so the activity here, so the products here, so we carry out is January to December 2020. So the first 2 activity will be carried out in January or February with the support of experts from our organization and also from Forestry Extension Department. And the result will be the reports, questionnaire, something like that. And this will be carried out from February to May, and with the support from experts, outside experts, we carry out maybe some. We are focused on the expert from Hoàng Liên National Parks, also the expert from our organization, and also from Forestry Extension Department in the region. Carry out training, so we need to hand out poster and reports, and 2 training experts will be invited to carry out such kind of activity. For this, so more of activity here, the report and explain. So, and for this 2.3, so we have to carry out lots of activity, and we carry out. I hope that it will be carried out in the rainy season from within 5 months with the support from our organization and from Hoàng Liên National Park and also the expert from the Forestry Extension Department of the region. Carry out some technique, some reports, also some pilots models. So it will take a time, and we do hope that it can be. Actually, it needs time for the finalize the project, report writing, and completion of the project. But we try to combine it. But I want to emphasize here only the main activity that we want to carry out, which in 1 year. The main implementers will be the expert from our university and from Forestry Extension Office. We have very strong extension officer staff in the region, in the northwest region of Vietnam. and they can carry out all of that activity. From evaluation of the project, actually, when we look at this, a little bit, it's incorrect, but it's in my mind. I want to put randomly visit, but don't ask me the question why low or why high, because only my mind does it. So no argument from someone, but if you have a question for it, feel free to ask me. So for overall evaluation, I put so the mean of Z and Z and Z 5 criteria. So it high or medium. This one is nearly high. So it means that project we have if we carry out all those activity. So with the criteria that's it. So we do hope that the project will be successful in the future. So let's wait until December 2020. So for input from TCTP 2019. So surprised that I and Mo, we choose the same picture. Okay? So I put this one trend is the time. Okay. So from input, so I think I gained a lot of the knowledge from the teacher presenter here. We get a lot of support. So the teacher give us a lot of the new thing. Even in Vietnam, you know that we have one reason we fish. The stream we feed like that, even in bigger. But we did not think about the feed massage, fish spa. I think it's really successful activity. Because we some come to see feed, take the picture and come back. But here, it did very well. So really I will inform to my colleagues, he's leader of the village. So that I think leaders are why cheap is a big fish. In such reason, my planet. So I will inform to him that okay, I will show some picture here. So it means that it really good. And also skills of the local villager. So how can you use a lot of TCTP to raising awareness of the local villager. So the butterflies and also the flyers, we can see it in our country actually. But the activity we did not do it. So, and also the way you manage, where you protect habitats for proboscis monkey. Even it live near the village, it well protected. So I think. And the third point is that the park management. So you have the common or village who live in the core zone of national park. But when we were there, so the forest is well protected. I think I will go further with it. I will find another document from Malaysian side to see how did you apply. And knowledge about the cultures. Really fantastic. I went to a lot of the countries in the Western region, in European and Japan and Europe country, and Thailand, but Malaysia is first time. Even 3 weeks, a little bit long for me, but I did want to go. Really want to go and see. One thing I don't like that the food is a hotel. Yes, only one thing. Yes, we have supper for that. Yeah, it's a hotel. You repeat every time the same food. And actually, it's very delicious for the beginning day, but for 2 weeks, okay? So, okay, but everything fine now. For the PCM, I have a little bit experience about it. But facilitator here, Professor Dr. Harris, they give us lots of experience. I also learned from you a lot. Thank you very much. And clear explanation and supported a lot. But one thing I want to say here is the time. The time here, I don't want to extend to 4 weeks. But if you want to reduce the time, you have to increase the number of the participants from one country. We can share our activity. Yeah, like Uganda, it's very well. Because we have 4 people. We have only one. We are Sri Lanka. And from the beginning, when I saw the invitation letter from our government, so we have 2 people, I think. So let's finalize only one I apply that. So I think later, if you have project, you have to invite 4. Okay, for Vietnam, 4, the later will be 2. So we will like that because you have right to select the best one for that. So let's say 5 and later 2 people. No problem, you can do that. Actually, it's very hard work of the action plan, but okay, anyway, I did that. So thank you very much for the attention and please feel free to ask me the question. Thank you.
All right, we shall open for some questions this session. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I agree. I know about that.
I have a feeling that also could be a factor to the questions. There's 2 questions, one from Dr. Henry and one from.
Thank you very much for the details information in your presentation. I would have a question or comment. You just proposed 1 year with a lot of activity, and the land for the project intervention is so large. So how can you do the work? Because 1 year is too short.
Finishing the project within 1 year.
Yeah, thank you very much for the comment. But even before presenting, I was something like that. I thought like that. So it will be extended. I think the time limit minimum maybe 2 years. Because for evaluation of some rehabilitation models, so we need further time. Because you just come and bring the medicinal plan and develop the model, it means nothing. Maybe we be dead after 1 month because you did not select the right site condition for that. So I'm sorry, so I will, if I do further, so I will extend the time into 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
Dr. Henry has something to add.
Actually, it's exactly the same. Lot of activity in 1 year plan to implement. And then you spoke about output number 2, partly concerning rehabilitation of the forest or the medicinal plant, right?
Output number 2.
Number 2. Carry out forest restoration rehabilitation. Restoration and rehabilitation takes a long time. So 1 year is pretty practical, but maybe the terms more suitable for a 1 year project is probably carry out forest replanting. Replanting of medicinal plant, resort carry out forest restoration. No. You are referring to restoring the forest to meet the requirements of medicinal plant, right? I thought you were talking about replanting certain species of medicinal plants. No?
No, number 3 means that you have to improve the condition for the medicinal plant development.
Yeah. Cannot be done in 1 year.
Yeah, sure. It will take 5 years. Yes, from my period. From my period. Okay, so I'm so sorry for that.
No.
But it will take 5 years because I am a silviculturist. So I knew that this activity can be, it must be carried out at least 4 to 5 years.
Maybe mapping.
Yeah.
Mapping maybe within 1 year. Or identifying places where the forest is going to be restored. Just mapping.
Okay.
Identify the places. Maybe 1 year possible, right?
I think we should extend the time. Maybe better.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in general, the issue is practicality.
As it took a lot, we have to spend a lot of money for this activity.
But I enjoy your presentation. I like it. Even though you just discuss with 3 persons.
I changed many times. So in the beginning I talked about the NTFP. So Dr. Robert told me that NTFP is 2 genera. They narrow to medicinal plant. And I also change my mind every time. Even now I want to change it. Sorry, because only one alone I work, but sometimes I think and change it. So sorry if something is missing, but the time will be extended for sure. Until 3 to 4 years. You have chance to do that.
Regardless, the project worth considering and funding. A warm thanks to Thailand, Vietnam. Alright, with that we conclude the first part of the presentation.